As Barcelona have already decided to buy Oriol Romeu from Girona, in this video I'll try to explain and make you understand why Xavi chose this 31-year-old former Barça player to replace Sergio Busquets, who's already playing in Miami. As you probably already know, Oriol Romeu was a former La Masia player. He arrived at the club when he was only 14 years old from Espanyol and moved up categories up to the first team, where he tried to follow Sergio Busquets' steps and trying to secure a spot in that incredible squad led by Pep Guardiola. However, as many other defensive midfielders that came from La Masia after Sergio Busquets, he had to find his spot outside of Barcelona because the competition was so tough that he couldn't get a spot in the squad of the first team led by Pep Guardiola. That's why he went to Chelsea in 2011 and played and won the 2012 Champions League. Unfortunately for him, he got a severe knee injury that only allowed him to play 22 games in a 2-season span. After recovering from that big injury, he got loaned to Valencia and Stuttgart for the following 2 seasons, and at 22 years old, he found himself once again showing his skills and the reasons why Chelsea paid more than 5 million euros to buy him from Barcelona. Premier League side Southampton put an eye on him and decided that he would be a great asset for their midfield. And that was actually true. He went on and played 7 seasons with the Saints and became a club legend and one of the saltiest midfielders in the toughest league in the world. However, in 2022, he felt like it was time for a change in his career. That's why, after 7 years in the Premier League, he decided to go to La Liga to be closer to home. He went to the newly promoted side of Girona, who's coached under Mitchell, and secured a 10th place finish in La Liga, an outstanding result for a newly promoted team. Oriol Romeu played one of the best, if not the best, season of his career. He went on and became the MVP of the team of a newly promoted side who secured a 10th finish spot and had chances to go to Conference League in the last match day. Suddenly, Oriol Romeu saw himself playing in the best level of his career, and that didn't go unnoticed by many clubs in European leagues who saw Romeu as a great possibility to add to their midfield. One of those European clubs was Barcelona, who decided to bring back La Masia alumnus Oriol Romeu to expertise their midfield once Sergio Busquets is already gone and playing in Miami with Leo Messi. But why has Xavi chosen Oriol Romeu to improve his midfield? For those of you who don't know, Xavi and Oriol Romeu have already talked to each other many times in the past. In fact, Romeu explains in his own edited diary that back in 2020 he had to contact Xavi and send him a message to ask him how did he handle the ball that well, because in 2020 Oriol Romeu felt like there was something missing in his game. He was losing the ball too much when the games started to be ending. That's why he didn't want to lose the ball in the crucial moments of the games. If you had to ask somebody how to not lose the possession of the ball, who would you ask? Of course Xavi, the best to ever do it. Xavi kindly replied and suggested Romeu that he should focus on each ball like it was the last one. And that actually helped him. And his stats on turnovers decreased a lot and he played way better in the second half of that season. Now you can understand how Xavi and Oriol Romeu have the same way of understanding football, and especially the same way of understanding football in Barcelona. In fact, Oriol Romeu, back in 2021, he gave an interview to the biggest Catalan podcast there is, basically talks about football, and in this interview he suggests that Xavi is the best possible coach for Barcelona. Check it out.
Pues perquè sents parlar Xavi dels conceptes que explica i com entén el futbol i crec que s'adapta molt més al que necessita el Barça ara mateix.
Què necessita?
Necessita una filosofia clara de joc, un equip que pressioni, un equip que vulgui tenir la pilota, que vulgui sortir de detrás, que tingui jugadors atrevits.
In fact, in that same interview, they asked him about the remote possibility of rejoining Barça 12 years later. But you'll see in his answer that he doesn't believe there's a slight chance of this happening.
I tu creus que en aquest Barça podria jugar-hi?
Qui, jo?
Sí.
No.
Com que no?
No?
Pues si està jugant Sergi Roberto, tio.
Tu no tens nivell per jugar...
Si
Està jugant Minguesa.
Jo sempre, si tingués nivell estaria, no?
A tu t'ha contactat el Barça algun cop des que vas marxar?
No.
Va sonar el teu nom.
A una època m'ha arribat rumors, però després no.
Of course, you have to keep in mind that Barca's current financial situation is still really bad, which impedes the club to sign bigger players like Joshua Kimmich and Zubimendi. But Barca got a great deal to sign one of the best midfielders, if not the best, on last La Liga season. And of course, he knows already the club. He already knows the club. He will adapt immediately to the position, and of course, He's a La Masia prospect who left 12 years ago, and now he comes back at 31 years old, almost 32, to play the last great years of his career. So don't be surprised when he starts for Barca's top games, because Oriol Romeu can really ball.